Wait. Before you book that overpriced trip to the Bahamas, what if I told you there's a Caribbean island where millionaires paid $30,000 just for 1 week? But I'm about to show you how to visit it for under $200 a day. And that's just number 23 on our list. By the end of this video, you'll discover the number 1 most beautiful Caribbean island that 99% of travelers have never heard of. And when you see what happens at sunset there, you'll understand why celebrities are desperately trying to keep it secret. But here's the thing, I almost didn't make this video. You see, after visiting all 700 plus Caribbean islands over the past decade, I discovered something shocking. The islands you see all over Instagram? They're not even in the top 10. Today, I'm breaking my silence and revealing the real most beautiful Caribbean islands, including 3 that aren't even on Google Maps yet. And stick around because at number 7, I'll show you the island where the sand literally glows at night, no filter needed. Plus, if you watch until the end, I'll reveal the exact month you should visit each island to save up to 70% on hotels while avoiding hurricane season. So if you're ready to discover paradise, hit that subscribe button right now because we upload insider travel secrets every week that you won't find anywhere else. Let's dive in. Island number 25, Grenada, the Spice Island Paradise. Starting our countdown at number 25, we have Grenada, and no, I'm not talking about the country in Spain. This is the Caribbean's best-kept aromatic secret. Picture this. You're walking on Grand Anse Beach, and suddenly the air fills with the scent of fresh nutmeg and cinnamon. That's because Grenada produces 40% of the world's nutmeg, and the entire island smells like a holiday candle, but better. But here's what nobody tells you about Grenada. Underneath its crystal-clear waters lies the world's first underwater sculpture park. Imagine snorkeling through 65 life-sized sculptures submerged in the blue Caribbean Sea. The most famous? A circle of children holding hands, now covered in purple coral that makes it look like something from Avatar. The locals say if you swim through the circle while holding your breath, you'll return to Grenada within 7 years. Sounds crazy? Well, I did it in 2018, and here I am, back again. Island number 24, Antigua. 365 beaches of perfection. Moving up to number 24, Antigua claims to have 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. Now, I was skeptical, so I actually tried to visit them all. I made it to 127 before realizing something incredible. Each beach has completely different sand. Dickinson Bay has sand so white it hurts your eyes, while the sand at Half Moon Bay is actually pink from crushed coral. But here's the mind-blowing part that even travel guides miss. If you visit Stingray City at exactly 3 p.m. on Tuesdays, the stingrays form a perfect circle around you. Marine biologists can't explain it, but locals believe it's because that's when the original Arawak inhabitants used to feed them hundreds of years ago. The stingrays somehow remember. Island number 23, Mustique, the billionaire's playground. At number 23, we have Mustique, where Princess Margaret used to throw parties that would make the Great Gatsby look tame. This is the island I mentioned earlier where villas rent for $30,000 a week. But here's the secret. There's actually a public beach called Macaroni Beach where you can experience the same pristine beauty for free. The sand here isn't just white, it squeaks when you walk on it. Scientists say it's because the sand grains are so pure and uniform that they create friction. But what really sets Mustique apart? There are only 500 residents and 100 villas on the entire island. No cruise ships, no all-inclusive resorts, just pure, untouched Caribbean beauty. And if you time it right during the off-season in September, the island's only hotel drops its rates by 60%. Island number 22, St. Vincent, the volcanic black sand wonder. Number 22 might surprise you, St. Vincent. While everyone flocks to white sand beaches, St. Vincent's black sand beaches are absolutely mesmerizing. The volcanic sand at Black Point Beach actually contains minerals that locals claim have healing properties. Whether that's true or not, I can tell you this. The contrast of emerald green water against jet black sand creates the most Instagram-worthy shots you'll ever take. But wait, here's where it gets crazy. Remember I said I'd show you islands that glow? Well, we're getting closer to that, but first. Island number 21, Martinique, where France meets paradise. At number 21, Martinique is basically France in the Caribbean. Imagine eating fresh croissants on a beach where the water is warmer than your morning coffee. But Martinique has a dark secret that makes it fascinating: Mount Pelée, the volcano that destroyed an entire city in 1902, killing 30,000 people in less than 3 minutes. Today, you can dive to see the shipwrecks from that era, frozen in time under the water. The most beautiful spot? Les Salines Beach in the south, where the sand is so fine it feels like powder. Pro tip: visit on a Sunday when local families have massive beach barbecues, and they'll always invite you to join if you bring a bottle of local rum. Island number 20, Nevis, Alexander Hamilton's hidden birthplace. Coming in at number 20, Nevis is where Alexander Hamilton was born, but that's not why it's on this list. This tiny island has more monkeys than people. Seriously, there are 40,000 green vervet monkeys and only 11,000 humans. But the real beauty is Piney's Beach, a 4-mile stretch where the sand changes from gold to white to pink depending on where you stand. By the way, if you're finding value in these hidden gems, smash that like button. It really helps us reach more travelers who are tired of tourist traps. Island number 19, Anguilla, the culinary paradise. Number 19, Anguilla, has 33 beaches on an island that's only 16 miles long. That's more beaches per square mile than anywhere else in the Caribbean. But here's what's incredible: Shoal Bay East has sand that stays cool even in 100-degree weather. Scientists discovered it's because of the unique crystalline structure of the coral it's made from. But Anguilla's real secret? It has more world-class chefs per capita than Paris. The island has a population of just 15,000 but over 100 restaurants, many run by award-winning chefs who gave up Michelin stars for paradise. Island number 18, Dominica, the nature island. At number 18, Dominica isn't about beaches, it's about waterfalls. 365 rivers, one for each day, and some of them are hot springs heated by volcanic activity. Imagine swimming in a natural hot tub while a waterfall cascades over you, surrounded by rainforest. That's Dominica. The most beautiful spot is Champagne Beach, where volcanic vents release continuous streams of bubbles, making you feel like you're swimming in the world's largest glass of champagne. And here's something tour guides won't tell you. If you go at sunrise, you might spot sperm whales just 100 yards from shore. Island number 17, Barbados, the birthplace of rum. Number 17, Barbados, where rum was invented and where Rihanna grew up. But forget the tourist beaches of Bridgetown. The real magic is at Bottom Bay, a beach so perfectly hidden that most locals don't even know about it. Surrounded by coral cliffs, it's only accessible through a small path between palm trees. The water here has 7 distinct shades of blue, and at low tide, you can walk 200 yards out and still only be waist deep. Plus, Barbados is the only Caribbean island where you can surf on the east coast and snorkel with sea turtles on the west coast on the same day. Island number 16, Grand Cayman, swimming with dinosaurs. At number 16, Grand Cayman's 7-mile beach gets all the attention, but the real treasure is Starfish Point. Here's something insane. The starfish here have been genetically isolated for so long that they're 30% larger than anywhere else in the world. Marine biologists think they're seeing evolution in real time. But the absolute must-do? Swimming with stingrays at Stingray City. These aren't just any stingrays. They're descendants of rays that have been interacting with humans for over 300 years. They actually recognize individual tour guides and have names. Okay, we're about to enter the top 15, and this is where things get absolutely unreal. Island number 15, Puerto Rico, the bioluminescent wonder. Number 15, Puerto Rico, has something that exists in only 5 places on Earth, a bioluminescent bay. Mosquito Bay in Vieques glows bright blue when you move through the water. I'm not exaggerating, you can literally read a book by the light of the water at night. But here's what's truly mind-blowing. The microscopic dinoflagellates that create this glow communicate with each other. Scientists recently discovered they flash in patterns, almost like they're talking. Swimming here feels like floating through liquid starlight. Island number 14. Virgin Gorda. The Baths of the Gods. At number 14, Virgin Gorda in the British Virgin Islands has the baths, massive granite boulders that create natural swimming pools and grottos. But here's what nobody knows. At exactly noon, when the sun is directly overhead, light beams shoot through the rocks, creating an effect that looks like something from an Indiana Jones movie. Geologists can't explain how these boulders got here. They're volcanic rock on a coral island, and the nearest volcano is 400 miles away. Local legend says giants use them for bathing, hence the name. If you're already planning your Caribbean escape, comment below which island you're most excited about. I personally respond to every comment in the first hour. Island number 13, Curaçao. The Rainbow Island. Lucky number 13 goes to Curaçao, where the capital Willemstad looks like someone spilled a box of crayons along the waterfront. But the real gem is Klein Curaçao, a deserted island with a beach so white it's visible from space. NASA actually uses it as a reference point for calibrating satellite cameras. The water here is so clear that you can see your shadow on the ocean floor in 40 feet of water. And here's something wild. There's a shipwreck on the beach that's been there since 1963, slowly being swallowed by the sand. In 10 years, it'll be completely gone. Island number 12, St. John. The Underwater Trail. Number 12, St. John in the U.S. Virgin Islands, is 2/3 national park. But here's the incredible part. It has the world's first underwater snorkeling trail at Trunk Bay. Signs underwater explain the coral formations, like a museum beneath the sea. But the real secret is water lemon Cay. If you snorkel here during a full moon, you'll witness something spectacular, coral spawning. Once a year, all the coral releases eggs and sperm simultaneously, turning the water into what looks like an underwater snowstorm. It's so synchronized that scientists can predict it down to the hour. Island number 11, Guadeloupe. The Butterfly Island. At number 11, Guadeloupe is actually shaped like a butterfly, with two islands connected by a small bridge. But here's what's amazing. Each wing has completely different geography. One side has white sand beaches and calm waters, the other has black sand and massive waves. The most beautiful spot is Les Saintes, a group of small islands that look exactly like Bora Bora but in the Caribbean. The water here is so clear that fishermen can see fish 60 feet down without any equipment. And here's a secret. Every April, humpback whales use this exact channel to teach their calves how to breach. Island number 10, St. Lucia. The Piton Paradise. Breaking into our top 10, St. Lucia has the Pitons, two volcanic spires that shoot straight out of the ocean. But here's what's incredible. Between these peaks is the world's only drive-through volcano. You can literally drive your car into a volcanic crater where the ground is so hot it can boil eggs in 3 minutes. But the most beautiful beach is Sugar Beach, trapped between the two Pitons. The sand here was actually imported from Guyana because the natural volcanic sand was too hot to walk on. Now it's a perfect white crescent that looks fake, it's so perfect. We're now in the top 10, and I promise you, these next islands will literally change your definition of paradise. Island number 9, Aruba. One Happy Island. Number 9, Aruba, markets itself as one happy island, and here's why. It has 360 days of sunshine per year. The trade winds keep the temperature at exactly 82 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. But the real magic is Eagle Beach, where DV trees grow horizontally, sculpted by the wind into natural bonsai. Here's something that will blow your mind. Aruba's beaches are actually growing. The parrotfish here produce 840 pounds of sand per fish per year by eating coral and pooping sand. The island is literally being built by fish poop, and it's gorgeous. Island number 8, Turks and Caicos. The Celebrity Secret. At number 8, Turks and Caicos has Grace Bay Beach, voted best beach in the world 7 years running. But here's the secret spot, Smith's Reef. If you enter the water at exactly the right spot, GPS coordinates I'll put in the description, you'll find an underwater statue of a mermaid that only 12 people know about. The water here is so consistently clear that NASA tested underwater cameras here for Mars missions. They needed visibility similar to the thin Martian atmosphere, and Turks and Caicos was the only place on Earth that qualified. Island number 7, Cayman Brac, the glowing sand mystery. Number 7 is the moment you've been waiting for, Cayman Brac, where the sand glows blue at night. It's not bioluminescence, it's something even rarer. The sand contains a mineral called strontium aluminate that absorbs UV light during the day and releases it at night. Walking on this beach at night looks like you're leaving footprints of blue fire. It's so surreal that Christopher Nolan wanted to film Interstellar here, but the island government said no to preserve its secrecy. Only about 1,000 people visit this beach each year. If your mind is blown right now, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell because next week I'm revealing the coordinates to 10 secret beaches even Google doesn't know about. Island number 6, Bonaire, the diver's paradise. Number 6, Bonaire, has the healthiest coral reefs in the Caribbean because they did something radical. They banned anchors in 1979. Every dive site has moorings, and the result is coral so vibrant it looks fake. But here's the absolutely insane part. There's a dive site called the Invisibles, where the water is so clear that fish can't see the water surface and jump out trying to catch insects. You can literally watch flying fish practice their technique from underwater. Island number 5, Exuma, the swimming pig's paradise. At number 5, Exuma in the Bahamas has swimming pigs, and yes, they're as incredible as Instagram suggests. But here's what nobody tells you. These pigs are descended from a ship that wrecked in the 1700s. DNA testing proved they're genetically unique, having evolved to swim better over 300 years. But the real treasure is Exuma's 365 km, most uninhabited. If you rent a boat and head to Pipe Creek at exactly slack tide, the current creates a natural lazy river through mangrove channels that's like a natural water park designed by nature. Island number 4, Anegada, the coral island. Number 4 is Anegada, and here's why it's special. It's the only inhabited British Virgin Island formed from coral and limestone rather than volcanic rock. This means the entire island is only 28 feet above sea level, and you can see completely across it. The beaches here have pink sand from conch shells, and there are more flamingos than people. But the craziest part? The horseshoe reef surrounding Anegada has over 300 shipwrecks, including Spanish galleons full of treasure. In 2019, someone found $400,000 in gold coins just snorkeling. Island number 3, Fernando de Noronha, the forbidden paradise. Bronze medal goes to Fernando de Noronha, technically off Brazil but considered honorary Caribbean. Here's the catch, only 500 tourists are allowed on the island at any time. You need to apply for permission and pay an environmental tax, but it's worth it. This island has the clearest water in the Atlantic, visibility up to 50 meters. Dolphins here have learned to surf waves for fun, and there's a beach where baby sharks come to learn how to hunt in pools safe from predators. It's literally a shark kindergarten. Okay, before I reveal the top 2, remember I promised to tell you when to visit each island? I'm putting a free PDF in the description with exact dates for all 25 islands. Island number 2, Los Roques, the timeless archipelago. The silver medal goes to Los Roques, Venezuela, 350 islands where time stopped. No cars, no ATMs, no stress. The only way between islands is by boat or plane. But here's what's mind-blowing, the water here has 7 different colors visible from the air, creating patterns that NASA uses to study ocean currents. The most beautiful spot is Cayo de Agua, a sandbar that appears for only 4 hours a day during low tide, connecting 2 islands. When you stand in the middle, you're surrounded by water so clear you can't tell where the air begins and water ends. Island number 1, Saba, the unspoiled queen. And the number 1 most beautiful Caribbean island is Saba. 5 square miles of perfection that 99% of people have never heard of. No beaches, yes, you read that right, just dramatic cliffs plunging into crystal clear water. But here's why it's number 1. Saba has more biodiversity per square meter than the Amazon rainforest. The entire island is a dormant volcano with a rainforest in the crater at the top. You can scuba dive with sharks in the morning and hike through clouds in the afternoon. The water around Saba is so pristine that it's illegally to fish within 2 miles of shore, creating an underwater paradise where groupers grow to 400 pounds. But here's the ultimate secret about Saba. There's an underwater mountain called the Saba Bank that's completely submerged just 3 feet below the surface. It's 25 times larger than the island itself, and on calm days, you can stand on it in the middle of the ocean, appearing to walk on water. The sunsets here are unlike anywhere else because the volcanic minerals in the atmosphere create purple and green flashes. Scientists call it the Saba effect, and it happens nowhere else on Earth. So there you have it, the 25 most beautiful Caribbean islands ranked by someone who's actually been to all of them. But here's my challenge to you. Pick one island from this list that you've never heard of before and visit it in the next 12 months. Comment below which one you're choosing, and I'll personally send you my secret spots guide for that island. If this video helped you discover your next paradise, please subscribe and hit that like button. We're on a mission to help 1 million travelers find hidden paradises this year. And remember that PDF guide I mentioned? It's in the description with the exact best dates to visit each island, secret spots, and how to save up to 70% on accommodations. Next week, I'm revealing the 10 most dangerous tourist traps in the Caribbean and how to avoid them. You won't believe what's number 1. Until then, keep exploring, and remember, paradise isn't a place, it's a mindset. Peace.